Okay, so it's June 24th. We both don't know what we're doing, so we're just figuring we're just gonna talk. And this is a crazy story, like what happened to us in the last year. And so I guess we decided to just talk about the accident and specifically like what happened that night. I guess for him, uh, we met about a year and a half ago now, and we were friends, and then we dated for a short amount of time, and then we were friends again before the accident, and then through the accident, um, he was there the whole time, like slept at the hospital, all those memories, everything, like is part of what he has been a part of. So, then and then we weren't together through the accident, and then after the accident, we were together for a short amount of time, and then there was a lot of other stuff that we both personally were going through and have been going through and are still going through. So, an important person in my life. It's just a tricky situation when you've got like a really good connection with somebody, I feel. So, but you don't want to like rush anything. So, and obviously you've got a lot of things that happen to add to our history. And, we're just getting to know each other and we went through some serious stuff that happened. So, I guess, do you want to talk about like what happened that night?
Well, I woke up to a lot of text messages and a couple voicemails from Mohan, who was there at the accident.
Oh, I'm sorry. One other thing is that we've never talked about this before, like in great detail, so it'll be interesting for me to hear what he has to say too, what you have to say.
Yeah, so I woke up to all the texts and the voicemail that the accident did happen, and when I was aware that it happened, I went to the hospital immediately, and Sabrina was in serious but stable condition. So when I walked in, I didn't know what to expect, and what I saw was pretty serious condition that anybody would be kind of shook up from. It rattled me pretty good, and I had to calm myself and realize there's nothing I needed to do. Supportive, and so just kind of making sure I was the best condition I could be in to be there for her was just overwhelming at the time, and seeing her there laying in the hospital bed and braces and broken legs, pelvis, jaw, elbow, whatever else was going on. It was very unnerving. And once I calmed myself and realized there's nothing I needed to do other than just to be there, I, at some point, was talking to family and friends and realizing, what was going to happen in just the next few hours as far as the surgery. And as I was kind of going on and had some other things I had to deal with, I kind of sent me into my own state of panic thinking about it because it was very frightening, seeing the condition she was in and maybe, thinking of the worst case scenario is, what could possibly happen with all the injuries and all the trauma that had happened to her. Because while she was alert and awake, there was a lot going on that you never know could just go in a direction you don't expect or hope. So it was very unnerving. But that was just in the first few hours of hearing about it, being at the hospital, and then trying to process everything in a short amount of time. You know, with somebody that's, you're, like Sabrina said, you have a really strong connection to and close with. So it was challenging, to say the least.
I'm sure. I mean, those memories are not something that I don't think we'll ever forget. Like when he used to bring the kids to for example, when we were in that like living room area, like outside of my rehab room, there were some common areas, and he would bring the kids when he was able to bring them. And Badger was little. I mean, she was like running into stuff, and would have to like protect me with the wheelchair or the walker. Like those are memories that like, and the kids came, and then there was like birds and stuff that they would look at. Those birds in the hospital bed, and then you've got curfew hours or the catheter. In the hospital, the hospital's crazy because like literally he brought a cot into the hospital room, and there would be alternating people staying with me. And the cot, this was a time when I still had IVs and like the they had to take blood from me so frequently, and also I was using a bedpan. So like he's sleeping on, or whoever. Actually, only I did it with you. I didn't feel comfortable with like other people, but like he's sleeping. I made them go out, but he's sleeping in the bed next to me. He knows that like the lights are gonna come on. He's got to go to work the next day, and like lights have to come on. People to draw blood, do the IV, change out my bedpan. It's like a process. Like it's so. Again, he was there as I'm hooked up to stuff. Like it's just it's like unreal. Waking up, I still remember those images in my head. Like him sleeping on a cot, like right here. There's one night we were just like crying. Like, that was crazy. Those were like very unique things to go through with somebody. And I guess along those lines, maybe that's like adds to just everything that happened for us last year is also like he totaled his car in an accident. And that we actually used to joke about my reaction to it. The second that it happened, I was like out, and then I had Mohan drive me down to where he was, which is getting onto the 51.
143 to
The
to the airport.
143 to the airport. So he you can explain what happened.
Yeah, I just rolled my car, lost control of it going around a curve, looking at my phone, and rolled it a few times and walked away from it. But when she showed up, it shook her up to the point where I was more concerned about her condition.
Yeah.
And I wasn't hurt. I was just shook up and scared. But she,
I like flipped out. I just kind of you just like and then he's there, and the car's total. The car's done. And this guy walks out with not even a sprain. So it's like kind of, we have that. We've got like just other things that were like really going on through the accident. Obviously, he was there when, I had given power of attorney to people in my family and to my best friend. So they're all making decisions, lots of different opinions in high moving arena. So there's a lot of things to address in a very short amount of time, and he's not really family. He's kind of more on the outskirts, so he's keeping it at a distance too, because obviously, like, we've dated. Like, it's something that, my parents don't want me to get hurt even more than what's already happened. Like, they're protective, so it wasn't really an optimal arena for you to be in. But you did well. I mean, you just observed and kept quiet and just, did the best that you could, and I appreciated that. That was like, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, we went through some people, when they go through an event like that, they just go into protective mode. Like, my parents went into, just protect me from everything. And I'm not a parent, you are a parent. So you can just understand, like, what type of chaos happens when your oldest child, you get a call in the morning. My mom got the call, and she'll talk about it actually at the event that we're going to throw in all my friends who have been there before, during, and after accident will be there, but my mom will talk about what happened when she got her call. Her call was at 4:30 in the morning. It's like, and it was like one of those calls where you don't want to get. Just like you, meant text messages, like you can't even fathom what happened. It's just, there's a lot that goes on, so I don't know if there's anything else we can touch. Do you want to talk about anything else? So I think what we're going to try to do is just kind of, there's some stuff I've never talked about, I've never heard it from another person going through it. I talked to Mohan minimally about what happened that night, but I have never, like, talked to anybody about it from their perspective the whole time. Like, what did you hear had happened? Because I don't even know exactly what 100% happened. I have never asked.
just the voicemail from Mohan said that Sabrina was hit by a car and is in the hospital. She's in serious but stable condition, and she asked that he come to be there.
They didn't tell you exactly what happened. When you got there, did they tell you what actually happened during the accident?
Mohan filled me in. I mean, he told me what exactly what happened. I think
What did he tell you? Because I don't know what he saw.
Without going into too much great detail, basically, you guys are waiting to cross the road and the car came directly at you. And as he was able to get out of the way, it happened so fast that the car hit you because you didn't move fast enough, or you were on your phone doing something, I don't know. But he said it hit you and you flew straight up into the air. He was just went into immediate, damage control mode and get you in a safe position until the EMTs could show up. Fortunately, once the doctor, he was right there to couldn't have a better friend to be by your side.
Oh, I know, absolutely. That's what I tell him all the time. It's like, that's why he and you and like certain other people were just like, especially Mohan, out of everything, he was physically there. Like, this is someone that when I was hit, I couldn't fend for myself. No matter, it was late in the morning, very early in the morning. There was no one around when I was hit. So if he hadn't been there, I would have been hit by this car, possibly laying by myself. I mean, just that whole scenario playing out in your head that it could have gone a whole different way than it actually went is like unreal. And like the immense amount of strength that he had to be able to like function in that situation. I know he's told me that he was angry and he just went into I'm gonna kill you mode. Like so, or like not verbatim like that, not literally like that, but like he went into mode of like, you're gonna pay for this type of thing. And he even had mentioned to me, like, I'm glad that, it, like, I was just so emotionally detached. I was so angry. So I was just in, like, mode to get shit done. Stone cold is what he's saying, or he, like, felt cold. I guess that's what happened when your body goes into shock to be protecting. You just do what you have to do to function. So, but, yeah, so that's, but then she, like, obviously, so the story, I believe, is like when she hit me, I went into the windshield and I inverted upside down. Is that correct? Yeah. And then, like, I flew and I landed, like, 50 feet away on concrete. Right? And then I thought that she, like, went and then we're still in litigation for this, so I'm just being careful about what I'm sharing because it's all alleged to me. I haven't done any research. I haven't read anything specifically too much. I've read the police report, but I guess I still keep it at arm's length because I'm not ready to process it 100%. But anyways, I guess long story short, when she drove away, she ended up coming back towards us, and Mohan tried to stop her, and then she just accelerated towards him, and then he jumped out of the way, but he did put his hands on the hood. I believe that's what he told me, and then he raised his arm. So, and there was someone who saw that. So, anyway, she was caught, but then I guess people had told me, like, she's, got 2 kids. Have you heard, did you hear that? We don't know, I know. We don't really pay attention, or I don't pay attention to like humans, like, focusing on her. I mean, there's no point in that, because you're not really in control of what happens with that, other than I can share the story, but ultimately, the judicial system, like, I gotta have trust in God, and that it's gonna work out in the way in which it was intended to. But it's still speaking about it, and that's what I told him, because I know, I'm not one to just open up to just anybody and everybody. It's very hard for me to open up in general. I mean, this is like my first best friend I've dated ever, so it's hard. So going through something like this, it's like, and he knows that firsthand. It was, and so us going through something that's challenging individually, and then to be going through it at the same time, it's like, and then we got this story where we knew each other before the accidents, during, and now. It's pretty, like, interesting. So what things that we talk about I think will be kind of cool. I'm trying to, like, I would like to, and you can add any input to this, it's like I would like to, if we do stuff, is just kind of talk about stuff for the first time in front of camera, because there's a lot of things that, like, I could probably think of as we're talking about different things. and just like ask questions about that I would like to know. And you might be the person who can the answers. So hopefully that sounds interesting to you guys. I don't know if it's interesting, but it definitely has been like wherever I've shared it with somebody. It's just such extremes. Like there's more specifics to the case about the type of person that hit me, why it's just like it really is a miracle like that we've been alive here. And yesterday I hit the highest level of the staircase exercise machine, and this is where I gauge where I was at physically before the accident. I was exercising at the highest level of the staircase machine. And yesterday I got to that point again. So imagine getting ran over by a car driving 25 plus miles an hour, then like being in the hospital for a month, rehab for a month, transitional rehab for a month, and I was supposed to go to another rehab, right? Because I was non-load bearing with my body, so I guess that meant that I couldn't move myself around by myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We still are never be 100%.
Yeah. No, I'm not 100%. But it's not 100% at all. But it definitely forces you to slow down, which we talked about. It's like a very good reminder, like the cane or the pain or the pictures. I drew stuff out here. Those things are like good to keep in constant reminder about things. And and then having friends that have gone through the experience, seeing the before, during, and after, you connect with them in such a different way, I feel now. I feel very connected to my friends in such a much more genuine, appreciative, I love you, like I don't want anything bad happening to you kind of way. And at this point in time where you're not in college meeting people left and right, it's like nice to have found that. I find for me. I think it helps me to have support to do things that I need to do for myself because I have a supportive friend. You're one of them. Alright. Anything else we can talk about? He really just wants to chalk up a storm. He wants to like jump in front of me and talk.
It's your world. I'm just living in it.
Oh, yeah, right. You fight for your world. Sorry, that's it for today.